The major scale. It's great if you want to write a song about a purse full of rainbows. It's the first scale you learn when you begin your journey into the modes and really start learning your way around the guitar neck, but you can actually use it quite well in rock music if you do it the right way. And today I'm going to give you 5 major scale licks that will still play from the back of a Harley. Before I go directly into the 5 licks, I'm going to tell you a big, huge secret to scales and modes for lead guitar. Which scale you are playing is not what creates the mood. Super happy or aggressive rock or whatever else is completely defined by the chord progression underneath the lead. Knowing your scales and all your modes is a tool for getting around the neck and using all the spots on the guitar so you aren't limited to basic pentatonic boxes and such. Knowing those modes and applying them to chord progressions or on a solo piece is where they come in handy for creating different emotions in music. Okay, so that said, we're going to work in G major here. We start here on the 3rd fret, 3 notes per string. We're going to use a background track that is a hard rock type of thing in G major's relative minor of E. I'm going to do something I don't usually do here, and I'm stuffing all 5 licks into one 8 measure song. I'm more of a melody first kind of guy, so this is going to make me twitch a little.
Why can't they leave me alone?
I open the song with a lick that uses my tried and true go-to of cross-picking. I'm a poet, and I didn't even know it. We're at the top of the 3 note per string major scale here. I'll put tabs on screen as I go, but if you want the full printable PDF of the tabs and even the backing track to practice to, it is available for all my lovely patrons at the link I'll show below here. Okay, so we start on the 7th fret of the E string with an upstroke. We're going to be doing this to make sure that our picking hand is going in the right direction the whole time, and it's a B. 1 note there, and then it's going to be 3 times on the E, 5th fret B string. All alternate picking, so it's up, down, getting my hand going in the right direction, my picking hand in the right direction each time. Then the next note is going to be the 8th fret, the C, so it'll be the B. Repeating on the E string there. Then I'm going to go back to the A, the 5th fret. So you have that kind of rolling bar there. And then I'm just going to play 1 note each, 7 to 5 on the B string, 8 to 5 on the B string. So it's the E string, B string, E string, B string. And then I repeat the lick again. Now coming out of that, I go immediately into the 2nd lick, which is straight out of straight out of Comfortably Numb. Well, actually, okay, the lick isn't itself in the song, but the basic concept is, I kind of view it as the lead version of a D sus4 chord. Let me explain. When you're playing a D major chord, you add your pinky for that sus4. So now instead I'm doing it up here on the 7th fret, and I'm using those basic same notes, except I'm playing it in a lead form, and so it's the 7th fret of the E string, and I'm bending it up instead of using my pinky as a hammer-on like I did in the chord. That half-step bend. Then it's the 8th fret on the B string. Then it's the 7th fret on the G string, 5th fret, 4th fret, pick it, and then pick it again with a bend. And then it's to the note G, the 5th fret of the D string, and resolving to the E minor, which is the 7th fret of the A string. It's a pretty lick, nothing crazy shredder, but it just sounds really nice, which is also true of the 3rd lick here, which is this muted rhythmic stuff, and I kind of get the idea from Viv Campbell on the Last in Line solo. And as a side note, I have a whole video on that solo in my top 5 favorite solos of all time, and YouTube blocked the video after about 1K views. So I guess if you guys want to see that, I'll post it on like Rumble or something. Anyway, the lick is here. So we start on the 5th fret of the G string, and we're going to start it kind of muted, and we're going to play the 5th to the 4th with a pull-off, and then we're going to play the G string, or the G note, excuse me, on the D string, 5th fret. So it's just a simple 3 note. Then we repeat again. Then we go back to the 5-4. We don't go back to the G note there, so. That's the whole pattern, and then we just change the top note from the 5th fret to the 7th fret. So all together, it's a nice kind of lick that you can use and add dynamics to by lifting off the mute and getting a little bit louder as you go, and it sounds good over loops. As you heard there, you can kind of, by accident, hit the open string, especially when you go to the pinky part here. So you have to be a little bit careful with it, but it's a nice build-up kind of lick into something else. Our next lick is a nice way to do a build-up for a climax on a solo, or even kind of an intro leading into it. And oddly enough, these types of things came later for me in my playing, where most people kind of are better at playing forward first. I kind of mastered playing backwards first. I don't know why it was that I got really good at descending shreddy licks long before I could do ascending anything, but it's just the way it was. Anyway, this one is nice because the pattern makes it sound like more is going on than there really is, and you can play it at a reasonable speed and still sound shredalicious. It works in pairs of strings and twos. We're starting here on the low E string and also the A string, and in both instances it's the 5th and 7th fret. So it's 5th to hammer on the 7th, and then it's going to be 5th on the A string, hammer on and pull off, back to the 7th fret on the E string, and then it's going to be 5, 7, and on the next string again, 5, 7. That kind of back and forth motion, not too difficult to get under your fingers, but sounds like a lot's going on. It's pretty cool. Now we're going to do the same exact pattern, but we're picking out a different selection of notes on the D and G string instead, and it's going to be the 4th and the 7th fret. And then on the B and the E string, it's a little bit different because it's not the same frets on both strings. We're going 5 to 8 and 5 to 7. So all together, that back and forth really creates some extra movement and makes it sound extra shreddy. Let's look at the last lick now. This one is my tappity tap multi-string fun lick, and it's something you can do all kinds of sweet stuff with. First I'll show you the lick, and then we'll touch base with some of the other uses of it. It's going to be done in triplets, triplet eighths, so instead of straight eighth notes, the tempo we were at, it's got that lilting da-da-da-da-da-da, triplet, triplet. And so we're playing the 3rd fret. We're just hammering on with our fretting hand. So it's the 3rd fret, and then the power chord note, 5th fret on the A string, and then the 7th fret on the D string, creating that 9 chord. And then we go up to the B, 4th fret on the G string, and the E on the B string, 5th fret, and the B on the E string, 7th fret, and then we just do this slide thing. So it's 7, 8, 7, 5, and resolving to the major note, G, 8 fret on the B string. So, and as I said, you can get all kinds of applications for something like this. You can do something where you're just playing with the notes on the first 3 strings. Moving through chord shapes, that idea of just hammering 1 note per string, almost as an arpeggio, you can get a lot of mileage out of and use it either as a lead tool or as almost a compositional tool, kind of like what I did there. So there you have it, 5 licks in the major scale position without sounding like you're trying out for a spot in a kid's show. If you want more lick videos, please let me know in the comments below. If you have any questions, let me have them. And until next time, guys, keep making great music. Hey friends, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. It makes the whole world better.